Hello and welcome to Friday. So I promised this yesterday, and I guess we're going to talk about it today because, well, we didn't get a chance to talk about it yesterday. So let's talk about the new garage motor. So like I mentioned a couple days ago, was it Wednesday? Tuesday. So the garage ended up breaking Tuesday. Tuesday evening. We called at the repair guy. He was here Wednesday morning. He came, looked at a couple things. It's like you got to replace the entire thing, the entire motor. So it's like, all right. So he's like, I'll be back at 3. He pushes it to like 7 and 8 in the evening. Then he's like, top of the morning at on Thursday. I'm like, okay, not too big of a deal. So that rolls around, and he replaces the entire unit, right? So you get this whole like long metal bar that spreads across the garage. You have the motor itself. You have a couple springs that like the door interacts with, along with the pulleys. You have the sensors. All of that got replaced. Only thing that didn't get replaced was pretty much the door itself, right, and the rails that it's riding on. Those are fine. I feel like those had been replaced at some point over the last 20 years. I could not tell you when, but it's good. It's good. So, where does that leave us? Well, I would show you, but my brother Letus is working from home today, and I don't want to be waving around the camera and having to like censor out the license plate too much. So, we're not going to deal with that. So, we're up here. Yeah, it started off as initially replacing the sensors. They look really good. But like, we didn't need to replace them technically, but it's probably best that we get a new one. Get the whole package. Get everything's covered under a 10-year warranty by the company. All great. So replaced those. Came over next day. Replaced everything else. I think it's kind of interesting. All of these days garages are like equipped with like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. I'm like, no, we're not dealing with that. That's as a cybersecurity kind of person, you're trained like, hey, how do I disable this, right? And I think it's probably best to just not even like touch it. I should probably look into it and be like, cool, off, and like never deal with that. Like that seems like it'd be a good idea, but we'll figure that out as we come. But yeah, it should be like a hard toggle somewhere, and if not, I'm gonna call the company and be like, hey, how do I disable this? And it's like, cool, why would me, average person, want an actual attack vector to somebody getting into my garage, getting into my house? How do I disable this? And it's like, and then I'm like, I'm gonna make a huge fuss about it. I'm like, ooh, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun if it like happens. If I can't find a solution, I'm gonna have great fun. But yeah, it was pretty simple. The hidden cost was the replacement of the springs, which, because we didn't technically, those didn't really need to be replaced under what the guy was doing, but because one of them was like kind of stretched out a tiny bit, he's like, yeah, I should probably get that replaced. I'm like, understandable. So we get it replaced. Again, 10-year warranty on everything. Pretty much everything except the door. And if the door breaks, well, hopefully we can get a warranty through them as well. But yeah, it's working great. It's super quiet, which is really nice. Um, it, but it's hard to tell if like somebody's home or not. Like my where I sit at my computer's right next to the garage. My bed is like pretty much right against that wall. Um, my window overlooks it, so it's just like, if somebody's home, I could hear it, but normally I have headphones on, so it's hard to hear, and we'll see what happens. But we got it replaced, and that's all that really matters. Setting up the remotes for the cars wasn't too hard. You just like remap the buttons. It takes maybe 10 minutes if you don't know what you're doing, and I didn't, because it's like, oh, you need to erase it by holding this first and third button, and then hold down the button you want to reprogram so it's just like hold down the first button and then hold the remote there and just like have it sync, and somehow I got it working. My mom's car was much easier to figure that out, so we'll figure more stuff out as we come, but hopefully that was it. Also, the only thing that was a issue that my mom found is like, oh, it's dark, there's no lights in it. I'm like, so like, I go out 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, just replace the light bulb, like add light bulbs to it, and it works perfectly fine. So all set there. And that's basically it. I think we're golden, and we're don't have to worry about this for at least 10 years. So we'll see what happens then. But for now, that's what I'm gonna call it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then, later.